Antoine, you've completed several films in the thriller action genre, Shooter, Tears of the Sun, Training Day. How did you become a part of this project?
Gerard, I guess everyone calls him. He called me. He had already signed on to the script as an actor and producer. And we were working on some other projects as well together, trying to make a film together for years, and we were friends. And he called me and said, I got something that I think you're going to like, and we should sit down and have dinner and talk about it. And I sat with Jerry, talked about it, read the script, was like, I'm in, let's go. This is it.
And you've assembled a truly excellent cast for the film. How do you feel about the performances?
They're fantastic. I think every one of them across the board, gave me 1,000% of who they are as actors and elevated the movie and made my life easier.
Talk about what it was like to cast the role of the president, and how did you end up casting Aaron Eckhart?
I've always wanted to work with Aaron for a while, and we talked about who that president would be, what he would look like, and obviously you got a black president today, and there was that sort of like, well, is he black, or do we make it? And I said, we both agree, it's a fictional movie. We can make him whatever we want to make him. And Aaron just fit that mold. We wanted a sort of young Kennedy type, you know what I mean? And we wanted him to be tough, and we wanted him to be smart, and we wanted him to believe that he was a guy of good morals. And Aaron fits all that, you know what I mean? And he's just talented as an actor.
Is there one thing that you're most proud of in the film? A theme or a scene or?
Well, I mean, it really, I'm really proud of all of it. I'm proud of the attack, I guess I'll say, is if I had to pick something, because it was really hard for us to really, we had to build that place. We had to create that. We created that, you know what I mean? And that's something that we worked hours and days on, weeks. We spent a lot of our time going over that attack, and meeting with Secret Service, ex-Secret Service people, and military guys, and that was a big taking on. And we shot that, and it was almost 120 degrees weather, and he's running up and down and shooting and sweating, and it was incredible. Fire everywhere. So it was something that I got to say that for us to come out on the other side and both of us watching, go like, I think we pulled that off, and see reactions from the audience, then I got to say I'm really proud of that.
You had a basketball scholarship during college.
Yeah.
Is there any experience that you take away from that and apply to directing movies?
Yeah, teamwork. I was a point guard. I was a captain of the team. It's very similar. You cannot win a game by yourself. You can score 60 points. You could be Kobe, Michael Jordan. You still need your team. You got to pass the ball, alley-oop it. You know what I mean? You got to give it to your stars and let them do what they do best. That's what I've walked away with from playing any sports.
Ask him about his boxing.
Don't
About his boxing.
Boxing's different.
You're boxing?
Yeah, but it's different though.
Okay.
Yeah, it's different.
Well, he's not going to tell you he's a Golden Glove boxing champion, no.
That's different.
Because he's that.
Wow.
And it's rare playing a badass that your director is more badass than anybody else in the movie.
The boxing teaches you that there's always somebody better, and you can get knocked out.
And Gerard, is there anything special that you did to prepare for your role?
Yeah, I spent a lot of time with the Secret Service consultants to learn about the thought process. Well, one, overseeing the whole thing was us working with those guys to make what would be a really believable and effective protocol that would happen once you get in the White House. Well, firstly, the attack, how would it be defended? How would the attack happen? What happens when you get in the White House? What do I do in terms of counterterrorism? What do they do? How do I, how do I stand against that? Communication with the outside world, all those things. But the training itself and the fighting, you work with those guys, they tell you how they fight. You work with the stunt guys who are all, incredible in many different martial arts, but they were also SEALs, so they're mixing that kind of fighting technique. So you're working with them, and you're really trying to get these, because that's what we wanted, was just some real guy-to-guy fighting, that hurts, that's scrappy at times, but it also can be lethal and like hair-raising. So you just get your head down and do it.
Did you learn anything surprising about how to guard a president, secret exits from the White House, or?
Well, you have no idea about the big fight we had about, a secret exit from the White House. We had many different versions of how I make it into the White House in this movie, and in the end, man, I'm just gonna shoot my way in because we had a point in the original script when it was this. I seem to spend half the movie going through a tunnel and in the White House as it's all going on. Finally, I come out. The joke was I come out, it's all finished. I'm like, hey, where'd everybody go? So we scrapped all that. It said, I'm going in. He fights his way in. Yeah. But what is amazing is that in terms of how much work these guys put into avoidance, investigation, reconnaissance. That's what Secret Service are great at, and that's why every day that we live when we don't see something happen is because of the work that they've put in. We didn't see it because they were 2 weeks ahead of us. They were a month ahead of us already planning to make sure that everything is safe. And it's incredible the amount of detail that they go into, and we just take it for granted. But they put in all that work. So when Mike gets into the White House, that's what's fascinating. On the one hand, he's a SEAL, or a Special Forces guy. He's trained to kill with extreme prejudice. But what's more fascinating than that is he has to assess what's the enemy capacity, what our capability, what do they want? How do I find out information? How do I get that information to the outside? How do I get ammo? How do I start to formulate a plan depending on what's happening at any moment? That's the stuff that I think as an audience is really fascinating. I'll give you 10-minute answers, right?
Awesome. No, it's great. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.